Whereupon Shockwave turns around and he's like, you owe me so much. 10,396 years, 2 months, and 3 days. This guy keeps track of things. And he goes, that's what you've cost me. And Grimlock says something that I never really thought I'd ever hear Grimlock say, but it's really funny. He just turns around and says, you know what? Payback's a bitch. And they start fighting. And then there is a random panel at the bottom of Sludge going, and I don't know what's happening. And then we actually switch to Soundwave's perspective, who is remembering, like, flashing back to the conversation that he had with Shockwave about how Shockwave promised to restore him to his alt mode and things will be awesome. And that's all that's on that page. And then we go back to the Dinobots, who are getting back on the MonsterBot ship with, you know, missing 2 people. And Repugnus is like, oh, there's only 3 of you? Well, that's no problem. We wouldn't go back for each other either. Guys, we are totally like the same thing. And then we go to Hot Rod, who has found Scorponok's actual head. Woo! And when he gets there, he actually meets up with Hunter. And he's like, where's Sunstreaker? Hunter's like, we don't need to talk about that. He's not here. And he says, you know, we need to take care of the head. This is what we need to worry about. This will take out all of Scorponok if we can just destroy it. And Hot Rod's like, okay, I'm gonna beat it with this pipe and everything's gonna be awesome. But darn it, wouldn't you guess, Scorponok comes in at the last second and keeps him from hitting it. And he's like, ha, fool, got you. So that doesn't really work. It was such a good plan, too. And then we go back to Shockwave and Grimlock, who are fighting, and Shockwave totally just blasts Grimlock into the ground. And we also see the Dinobots talking amongst themselves, including, like, Swoop saying that they're not monster bots. All of a sudden, Sludge just kind of pops up and he's like, hey guys, what's going on? They're like, dude, hey, what's up? Yeah, Sludge is totally fine. Whatever that thing is that Grimlock did on him that I don't know what it was, it totally worked. Good job. And Grimlock and Shockwave are still fighting, but now the Dinobots have joined in, and it's just, you know, a big group party. But Grimlock says, you know, we can't just focus on Shockwave, we have to go find Scorponok. That's, like, the reason that I was here in the first place. And then we see Agent Red, who has given the order to send the disarm code through Shockwave. When they send the disarm code to Shockwave, he then relays it back to Soundwave, who then gets to be not dinky little cassette player anymore and is restored back to his awesome Soundwave-ness. Glory. Awesome sauce. And then Soundwave immediately is like, Ravage and Laserbeak, you guys wake up, and we get the smallest but, like, most violent panel in this entire comic with Ravage, like, tearing someone apart and there's blood, and I'm just like, what? That totally took me by surprise. I mean, I love it. I'm not endorsing violence or anything, but I do think that's pretty cool. I don't know why it's in there, because the blood from the first issue of All Hail Megatron was edited out, but whatever. Blood, yay. But once Soundwave is restored, Shockwave says, okay, our partnership is over, and so is this charade. And he says basically he doesn't need to be fighting Grimlock, and basically Shockwave's like, I don't have to fight you, Grimlock, so I'm just gonna leave, and if you get in my way, I'm totally gonna kill you, but if you don't, you know, you'll be fine. And Grimlock's like, no, this has to end here, and we only have one way of doing this, and he rolls out this, like, bomb thing, and Shockwave does basically the stupidest thing that I've ever seen Shockwave do ever. He just stands there and looks at it, and he's like, what have you done? He just stands there and, like, waits for it to explode. I mean, like, look at him. He's just, like, chilling. It doesn't even look like he's trying to get away. He's just like, hey, look at that. He's, like, just staring at it. Like, hey, it's a bomb, whatever. Like, dude, run! Go away! The explosion won't be that big. You can just go and you'll be fine. But he just stands there and it explodes. Okay. But things are still not finished as we go back to Hot Rod and Scorponok's totally about to just snap Hot Rod's head off. Dinobots show up and they're like, you don't ever mess with Dinobots. And they all start taking out Scorponok, and Swoop takes out the Scorponok head, and that, of course, makes the Scorponok that's standing there completely powerless. But then Ultra Magnus shows up, and it's a party now, because Ultra Magnus is here. And that's another interesting part about this issue. Hot Rod says, "My message got through, you came." And back when this came out, in April, it also came out on the exact same day as All Hail Megatron 11, where Hot Rod had the exact same line. He also said, "Oh, my message got through. I feel stupid for not remembering, but I kind of feel like he sent it to Ultra Magnus." No, Omega Supreme got it, never mind. But, yeah. It's the same gimmick in two different comics that came out on the exact same day. I think that's hilarious. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But Ultra Magnus is just like, yeah, we're gonna take everything that has to do with Scorponok and we're just gonna leave. And the Dinobots is like, yeah, that's okay. So then we kind of have the wrap-up section of the comic where we see Hunter and Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker is actually gonna be totally fine. And he's regenerating and he's all cool. It's just floating in some bubbles. And Ratchet says, you guys aren't connected anymore, but I can't really do anything about, like, your implants, Hunter. And Hunter's just like, I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. And someone says, "You're our friend, welcome back, Hunter." And who could it be? It is Hunter, and not Hunter. Hunter's already there. It is Jimmy and Verity. Wow, we have not seen them in forever, and these are the cutest versions of them I've ever seen. It's very odd to see that. I kind of think that it's weird that Verity in this, she's got her hair, it's all curly, and she's got it down, even though we've never seen her wear her hair or look like that ever. She's always got her, like, backwards cap on and is totally, like, punky and not like this at all, and I don't know, Jimmy he doesn't have a headband on, so he kind of looks weird. So this Jimmy and Verity thing, it just doesn't seem right, but, we had to see them at some point, considering the fact the last time we saw them, they were, like, dead. So it's good to know that we're not dead. It's also good to see that somebody, I'm guessing Ratchet, has been spending all of their valuable time on the ship making outfits for them. Awesome. Good to know that you Autobots know how to use your time. And the last page is basically just a really quick wrap-up of everything. We have Ultra Magnus talking to Optimus Prime, saying that they hope that, everyone on Earth thinks that everything Cybertronian was kind of taken out and killed and taken care of in the explosion, and that, they won't worry about it anymore. But of course you see Agent Red, and he's all menacing, like, I don't know, he's gonna do something, I'm sure. And then we have Ultra Magnus going to talk to Grimlock, who didn't die in his explosion that he caused that was supposed to kill him and Shockwave. But he's fine. Yay. And Grimlock's just saying, you can accuse me for whatever you want, but don't take any of this out on the other Dinobots. And Ultra Magnus is like, yeah, we've already canceled their arrests or whatever. And it just ends with Grimlock being like, talking about Sludge. And he's like, he's alive because of me. And that's the end of this issue that I should have reviewed months ago.